Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we're running on Prokhorovka again. Now I apologize, I didn't set it up this way at all, but for some reason World of Tanks kept giving me Prokhorovka tonight. But anyway, I've got a brand new tank, and if you couldn't read the title, it is the Tier 10 Russian Heavy Tank Destroyer, the Object 268. Now, I've heard great things about this thing, and I've seen people do amazing things in it. Whether or not I can start to do that would be yet to be seen, but I'm going to try. So this is my first ever match in it, and we're on Prokhorovka, and the first thing I notice is we have 3 Arties against us, all Tier 10, and all in a party. And I'm in a tank destroyer on Prokhorovka with no cover. So just my luck, right? Anyway, so we're going to go over to the left side with this thing because tank destroyer, left side. Just the way it goes. And then we're going to try to get to the back side of this hill. Looks like we're going to have some spotters, which is great. And then we're going to move up as needed to clear this side as best we can. Now they took away the hill back here when I was in Arties. I would like to hide behind the hill, but they took it away, which is just another one of those things that Wargaming does to troll artillery. Hey, you like to hide here? Well, good, we'll delete it. But I'm not salty or anything. It's just as the way Wargaming does. They do not like artillery. I don't know why they don't like artillery, but probably because it's the most complained about thing in the game. But we're not in artillery. We're in direct fire artillery. So everything that's getting spotted is too far ahead of me at the moment. And now we've got a Conqueror, Tier 9 British Heavy, who's behind a hill, or behind a building, so I can't get a shot on him. So I was hoping he would back out there and I could hit him in the back, but he didn't do it. So I'm going to have to move up. So the first thing that I'm going to notice in this tank is the fact that its view range / radio range is terrible. Most tank destroyers, if you spot something within 1,000 meters, we can see it and at least engage, you know. This thing, not so much. This thing doesn't have the radio range that other tank destroyers have. But it's okay because it has more mobility and it has a better camo rating than most Tier 10 tank destroyers. It's very, very good at slipping through unnoticed. Now, here's my first chance to shoot at something. I take the shot, and it goes a little bit high and hits right into the top armor of that Foch. Now, that is like the worst possible spot that I could have hit that thing. So, of course, it auto-bounced. I mean, you hit the thickest part of its armor or most effective part of its armor, it's going to bounce. So, as you can see, it disappears for me, but yet they're still shooting. So, I'm assuming that I just can't see them because of the radio range. So, I'm going to have to move up. Now, we've got a tank destroyer. I haven't paid much attention to him, but there's a tank destroyer moving up. Looks like it's an E3. Of course, he's moving up. He's got all the armor in the world. And we're just going to move up slowly behind them, and then as they spot things, I'm going to be in a good spot to be able to shoot, even if they're on the other side of the ridgeline. So there we have a heavy. Shot out, and we miss. So that's the second thing that I've noticed about this tank, is that the shell velocity is really low. Like, I'm used to, 128 where it just zips it out there and just absolutely wrecks. But this is a little bit slower shell velocity, so I'm going to have to take that into consideration. And then we've got the Foch again, and now I've got a side shot on the Foch, so that's not going to bounce. We put another 800 round out, and he gets hammered. Okay, so now again, these guys are spotted, but I can't see them. So they're outside of my view range or radio range, whichever you want to call it. I would say it's probably both. But there we go. Now we've moved up close enough we can see him. And now he's behind something, so I can't shoot him. But we have only engaged part of their team. The rest of their team has yet to even be engaged. So where are they at? They have to be on the left side. So we went down our left, they went down their left, and we kind of just passed each other. So I can't get shots on any of those guys, but I do see multiples heading towards our base. So being in a good position that I am, I go ahead and fall back to overlook the base. And this is where you're going to see this camo rating come into its own. Like, watch this. There's a 1390 there who should be able to spot me easily, and I'm not detected. Now, I've got my binos up. I don't have camo on this tank. It doesn't need it. Or, I mean, I have camo, but I don't have the camo net on this tank. It doesn't need it. So I use binos. I use, here's an IS-7. I don't even take a shot at him because I see somebody shot over there from the right. Now this IS-7's going to go broadside on, and that's a paddling. He's lucky he didn't die right there, because IS-7s are notorious for exploding after they go broadside on. I do it to them all the time. Now, there's an E-50 burning right towards me. I need him off the map, so shot out. Beautiful. Done. He didn't even have a chance. Now, because I fired while he was coming right at me, he did spot me, just momentarily. Now, I know the T-54E1 is behind me, and I'm just going to let that go for the moment because I don't need to do anything with it. Now, IS-7's broadside on, and we go high and hit his turret. That's the one place on the broadside of his tank that I shoot and can't pin. Those turrets are really bouncy. Now, watch this shot into the T-30 or the 90. It either ran out of, like, power and just derped into the ground, or it just disappeared before it hit him. Alright, so now the IS-7s ran away. The 1390 just got worked, so he's no longer an issue. So I'm turning my attention towards the left hill, because I knew that E4, when he was parked up here, got shot from the hill. And this is just part of the situational awareness that you run into, you learn as you go into this game. A lot of people probably didn't even notice that, but there he is. So we're zooming in. He disappears, but I put the shot out and pinned him perfectly. So now he's going to move, guaranteed, because he doesn't want another 800 shot on him. And wait for it. Alright, so now he's been spotted again, and where is he at? He's no longer on the hill. He slid off and almost got stuck. So we're zooming in, and just as we would be able to get a shot on him, he drops off the edge of and goes down towards the water. So nothing we can do there. So I turn my attention back towards the T-54E1, who disappears immediately. I've got my binos up. He's still not lighting up. So I'm going to use this tank's mobility and camo and watch what this tank is able to do. Like, we're already up to 46, and I know that was slightly downhill, but still, 46 kilometers immediately. Now that T-54E1 does spot me there, because I'm driving right towards him. I'm not trying to hide or anything, just driving right at him. Now, ever since they added these railroad bridges, you can really put a hurting on somebody in a hurry. Watch the mobility of this heavy tank destroyer. Whips it around the corner, whips it back to the left, and now we catch him with his tail in the wind. Oh crap! You're dead. That moment when you turn the corner, and then the arty suicides. And if there's anything that will irritate the crap out of me more than that, it's an arty suicide. I can't stand it as an arty player. But we did alright. We did 4,000 damage in our first match and 2 kills. 4,500 damage total, 6 pins. We could have had a lot more, but I was getting used to the gun. So if you like what I'm doing, punch that like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.